Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jay Will coming back with another one. And in a week where Baker Mayfield ran most of the news cycle in the football NFL media, I think this did definitely get lost within that. And that was the Titans firing GM Jon Robinson despite winning. Yes, the Titans have been having winning records since their GM has entered the league, which was in 2016. He became the general manager of the Tennessee Titans, and he led the Titans actually to he was the second most winningest GM in Titans history, only to Floyd Reese, who had 111 wins, and he had 69 wins. But it's interesting that this firing comes right after the Sunday of A.J. Brown going bonkers on the Titans. He had 2 TDs, over 130 yards, something crazy, something stupid. I had a feeling he was going to go off, those revenge games. They definitely wanted to get A.J. Brown the ball and show the Titans that they were really missing out on a great player. And I bet that did not help the situation of the GM keeping his job. Your former player that you drafted, you usually like to keep those first round picks, the people that actually produced in the locker room, but they could never come to a deal. So, the Eagles being, who we are. I am an Eagles fan, so I'm saying who we are, but the Eagles being who they are, the GM went ahead and got a playmaker, which the Eagles needed. They traded a first round pick and 101 pick of the draft, so they got the no 18th pick and the 101 pick, 101st pick for A.J. Brown, and that happened this past year. And on that night, A.J. Brown was given a 4-year, $100 million deal with $57 million guaranteed that night. Talk about a bag. Talk about life-changing money coming into your bank account within seconds. Like, that's crazy. And now the Titans, I'm guessing and I'm betting that they're definitely regretting trading A.J. Brown. And other than that move, he wasn't a terrible GM, but one of the things that does come to mind as a reason why the Titans let go of Robinson was that he was only two of the 7 first round selections made since 2016 are on the current roster. And that might change with, Jeffrey Simmons. He will probably get a mega deal, a big deal. He's a baller. But other than that, only 2 of the first round picks that he's picking out of 7 is still on the roster today. And those are usually the picks where you got to score on. You got to have an 8 out of 10 rate, a 7 out of 10 rate on those first round picks. Especially in the past 7 years, you're thinking a first round pick is going to be in the league at least 7 years. Usually that's what it goes. They usually live up to, at least their second contract. And, it shows that, he didn't have a really high success rate. Also, some of his wins and, some of the good things he did do was, he drafted 29 players, 2 of whom running back Derrick Henry and safety Kevin Byard are, team captains on the Titans, really good players, anchors on the defense. He did, like I said, draft Jeffrey Simmons as well. They all have made Pro Bowls. He also made a free agent. One of the major free agent signings and trade acquisitions that he made was when he, traded for the Pro Bowl running back at the time, DeMarco Murray, which I don't think they needed to do at the time because that kind of hurt Derrick Henry or stunted his growth a little, I would say, when they had gotten DeMarco Murray, because he ended up shining over him and he just ended up, being another guy. And I do think they gave up some nice capital to get him during the time. So all of those, trades and all of those decision makings from the draft has been taken into account. They did sign Ryan Tannehill back. I never was the biggest fan of them signing back Ryan Tannehill for the big bag that he got. He's just a game manager in my opinion. If everything's going great, then he's a pretty good QB, but that isn't always the case. But I guess you'd rather have somebody like him than somebody like Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson or somebody like that. So he's an average quarterback right in the middle of that pack. So I get why they did sign him, but it looks like the deciding factor and the straw that broke the camel's back was A.J. Brown coming in and dropping 2 tubs and over 100 receiving yards. I do believe a big reasoning for this firing was because of Mike Vrabel and the GM Robinson butting heads, especially with this last situation dealing with A.J. Brown. As you could see, Mike Vrabel, through the media, he was very adamant to let people know that, he definitely wanted A.J. Brown and he did not want to, trade him or have to release him. He definitely wanted to sign him back. But it looks like the GM was the reasoning for that not getting done, because it looked like he was all in, messing with A.J. Brown, loving what he brought to Tennessee. But the GM, wanted to go a different direction. And then when he comes in and, goes crazy like he did, that was just the last straw. They were like, Vrabel was probably right. We should have just stuck with A.J. Brown like he was saying and not what Robinson was saying. And also, I forgot to mention that Julio Jones move was also a big hit towards Robinson's legacy and his what he brought as a GM as well, because he battled a lot of injuries. He didn't do nothing what I was thinking and what probably anybody was thinking Julio would have done, would have brought to that team. It's like he came and went from from the Titans. So who will the Titans sign next at GM? I know right now they said the club's vice president of player personnel will oversee player personnel for the rest of the season, and that was Ryan Cowden. He originally joined the franchise in 2016 as the director of player personnel, and he was promoted to his current role in 2018, which is the vice president of player personnel. So he's in that role, taking Robinson's job right now. But who do y'all think they should sign next? And is the organization of the Titans in the right direction right now? Let me know in the comments down below. Will they make anything shake in the playoffs this year? I believe we all think the Titans is a good team, but we all know they're not going to do much in the playoffs. And I believe they were tired of seeing that. You already know, sub to your boy, smash that like button. We coming with that heat, man. Let's get it.